The Vango RVA 2 is a rear porch awning specifically designed for the Swift Basecamp range of caravans. It is the smaller brother to the Vango RVA 1 and has been designed for touring and short breaks, whilst allowing plenty of space for socialising and additional storage. The role of the RVA 2 for us will be to fill that space between the RVA 1, which is our go-to awning for long stays but is big and bulky, and the Camper Dometic 200, which is our weekend awning and has proven itself in winter conditions but is not quite big enough for socialising. In this video we'll have a look at the features of the RVA 2, where it may have some weaknesses and what it's like to pitch. So let's have a look around this fantastic awning. So let's start on the outside and look at the structure. So similar to the RVA 1, it is an air beam structure. So there are two air beams on each corner, one on this corner and one on the far corner. And then you've got another air beam at part which makes up the vestibule. So we have the Basecamp orange on the vestibule. It's a good sized vestibule that. Ideally it's on the side of the barbecue. So if you're barbecuing and it's raining, you can get some shelter from the vestibule. And also the vestibule does come with a external storage. There's like a small orange tent that can be pitched there. I've not put it on because we've got some family coming around this afternoon to do a barbecue, so it would be in the way. So on the sides you have these Velcro padding which create like a weather seal between the side of the awning and the base camp. And then we've also got the access to the external 230 volt socket, which I'm using with the extension lead. So what else is a nice touch as well is that you've got the air beam windbreak connection here, so you can connect your air beam windbreak to the awning. That's the same on both sides. And then obviously then you've got this large interior door. So let's go inside. Now I'm using the carpet from our Camper Dometic 200 awning in here. It doesn't quite fit, but it's big enough to do the job. I've not put down a ground sheet because it's just absolutely scorching. I don't need one. So let's have a look first of all. So at the top you've got one beam, air beam, that goes across the top, holding the roof up. And if we come round, we've then got another air beam that runs across the top window there, which is keeping the structure rigid. And then you've got this huge window out the back. Now we don't have a great view at the back of this pitch, but we've got a nice window there, a window there, and then we've got another entry point on the off side of the base camp. I've got that open just for airflow and got the fly net in place. You've then of course got your skirt, and then you can actually hang storage bags from each corner. I've not put them up because we don't need them, but they do come with the awning. And then in each corner you've got the vent. Now unlike the Vango RVA 1, this awning doesn't come with a bedroom compartment, so if that is something that you want, have a look at the RVA 1. So it's a very nice awning. There's, I've got my electric sockets there. It's a very nice awning, but there are a couple of Achilles heels to this awning, I think. The first one being is this air beam here, which is holding the structure across. I think in strong winds that's going to start to bend. We'll have to see, but I think that could start to bend. Another thing I don't really like, and it's nothing with this awning in particular, it's the same for all awnings. If you can see, I've got the pitch isn't level, so I've got a levelling block on the near side, which means that the awning doesn't reach the floor. Now it's not to do with the awning itself, it's just, I wish they would design them so that you could have an extra bit to drop down so that you could level them off with the floor. That would be a nice finish. So yeah, I think it's a nice awning. It weighs about 16 kilos. It's noticeably lighter than the RVA one, but it is slightly smaller and a less complex structure. I really like the progressive curvature to the air beam on the vestibule, starting at the roof of the Caravan down to its footings, and how this shape is continued across the span of the RVA 2, complementing the funky and sporty look of the Basecamp range of caravans. Transporting the RVA 2 is relatively straightforward. Despite the generous footprint and overall size of the awning, it does pack down into a manageable size bag, which is easily secured in the base camp to the carabiners on the floor. The same can be said for when it comes to pitch the awning. It is not too cumbersome to remove from the caravan and place on the pitch. So let's have a look what comes in the bag. And I would add at this point that although this would have been the first time I'd pitched the awning, I did unpack it and then repack it to test how easily it would go back in the bag. So these are the Velcro pads that go down the side of the awning between the base camp and the awning to create the weather seal. Next is the pump and its pipes, which comes in its own individual bag. Underneath that, I had packed the orange external tent that goes on the vestibule. I haven't pitched this in this video. Next up is the skirt. This goes along the bottom awning rail of the Caravan. And here are the internal air beams that support the structure of the awning above the window and by the roof. Here is the awning itself, and when I repacked this, I folded it into a cigar shape and then rolled it into 3 to get it back in the bag. And finally are the pegs, and these are the internal storage sections. The awning can be pitched by one person alone, as I did. The hardest part I always find is getting the awning onto the awning rail first. Once I've done that, as part of best practice, I always secure the corners closest to the caravan first, and that is because in windy conditions you can soon lose control of a large awning. One tip I would make is a metal mallet. It makes easy work of pegs on gravel. Next, all we need to do is pump up the air beams. Pump up the 3 external air beams first and stake them out, and also stake out the awning to the pitch, and then pump up the 2 internal air beams and place one above the door and one above the window, and that is the awning pitched. As simple as that. Approximately 20 minutes later, I was looking at this view. What a stunning awning, it has to be said. My final thoughts on the RVA2 after using it over this beautiful weekend is that it is no doubt a stunning looking awning. It's exactly what we need for touring and short breaks when we have friends and family joining us on the adventures. It would appear to be best suited for 3-season camping, spring, summer and autumn. However, I look forward to testing it in full-on winter conditions later this year. I hope you found this video useful, and as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.